You might get yourself a little, laugh, a little chuckle when you see the creativity, obviously, of this artist mocking what Disney is pushing. But when you think about it, it's really not a laughing matter, all right? Some of the recent headlines: Disney executive wants 50% of all characters gay or underrepresented. Disney executive wants more gay leads, despite many, many gay characters already. Let's see. Disney exposed. Leaked video shows officials pushing LGBTQ agenda. Now, they're responding to, DeSantis. I think they were calling it the Don't Say Gay bill, right? And so, Disney, these woke folks are trying to push this agenda. But think about what we're talking about. We're talking about a children's show. We just had this conversation the other day about, they're wanting to push this stuff on second graders, kindergarten, third grade. And so they made a bill, hey, you don't need to be teaching this stuff. They had the gingerbread man that was like some kind of, I'll post an image right here that you can see. And they were like, this is inappropriate. Kids this age don't need to be learning about this. Teach them reading, teach them math. Let me as a parent, teach them the rest of the stuff. I don't want my kid in kindergarten. Come on. It's crazy. Kindergarten. Because they're trying to shape their mind. The truth of the matter is this, right? The Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood. There is a spirit behind this. Obviously, it's the spirit of perversion. So these people, the Disney executive that wants 50% of all characters gay or unrepresented, all right, it's not that they're just doing this out of the kindness of the heart. There's a spirit behind that trying to push an agenda to indoctrinate your children. All right? The Bible says what? Train up a child in the way that they should go when they're old, they will not depart from it. So Satan is trying to take that principle and say, well, I'm going to train up your child so that, eventually, when they get older, if we keep coming for the children and we indoctrinate all the children, then that's just their normal. Now, when I was growing up, they weren't teaching this stuff in school. This stuff wasn't all in the TV shows and every single cartoon. And think about it. What is it? Less than 1% of the population, but you want it in 50% of the movies? Something is not right. And we got to wake up. We got to be, aware of, you can't just let your children watch any movie anymore. You can't don't let them just be on the phone. Don't let them just be on YouTube. Don't just let them, watch it. When I grew up, they had some Disney movies that, and people, they got different opinions about Disney. But it's just crazy that I look at the difference from my childhood to now my children growing up. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful. There's like agendas in everything. And, you got those, I don't want to call them conspiracy theories, but they go back and, well, this stuff has been in Disney forever. At least it was more hidden. Now it's not even hidden. The devil's not even hiding. It's just out there. They're telling you. They used to try to sneak it in. Now they're telling you, like, no, this is what we want to do. 50% gay characters, but only 1% of the population. And notice how they always try to attach the LGBTQ, unrepresented. So, they're obviously going to talk about, minorities and things like that. Black Lives Matter did the same thing. Remember when I went to the website and I pulled the website up and I showed you, they're like, we don't believe in the nuclear family. We believe in cisgender, transgender. The Black Lives Matter mission statement was that they wanted to come against Western society's view of what a family is, which is that traditional husband, wife, children. And in their mind, it's like, no, you can have two women, you can have two men. Why is this attached to Black Lives Matter, the movement? They always try to sabotage these different things and push this agenda. And it's just crazy. Like, what is it going to take? Like, I know they say, oh, Christians shouldn't be involved in politics. This dude, DeSantis, he's got a backbone. And whether, whatever way you vote or whatever, he is trying to do something really that's going to protect your children. Now, some people, I don't need my kids to be protected. I want them to learn about all that. No, you got to understand there's a spirit behind it. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. The devil is the author of confusion. They are trying to confuse your children. Why do I want to send my kindergartner to school? Very impressionable. For you to tell my kid, like, okay, yeah, your dad sent you here, and You got boy clothes on, but if you feel like you're a girl inside, why would I even want them to put that thought in their mind? Now, I personally believe that, obviously there's a spiritual aspect to it, but a lot of times kids are not thinking about a lot of this stuff unless somebody exposes it to them or puts that seed in their mind, right? I believe that when you see with D Wade's son, with a lot of even racism, kids aren't racist. You better put a bunch of kids in the park and you let them play. They don't care if you're black. They don't care if you're white unless somebody taught them or showed them otherwise. And so that's the reality. You have these adults, right, probably who are LGBTQ, and they feel like, man, I need to make it my mission. So I need to get in politics, and I got to pass legislation where my sexuality is being pushed on children. I saw some article about some, I believe it was an LGBTQ teacher. He was upset about the new law, if I'm correct, that he wasn't going to be able to tell his story with his children in his class anymore. I don't need you to tell your story. I need you to teach my kids how to read, teach my kids how to do math, teach them life skills. Teach, if anything, especially when they get older, teach them credit. Teach them about something that matters. That we don't need you to do. That's not what you're there for, to tell your life story and tell my kid about all the stuff you're doing with your husband back home. That's not what I sent them to school for. And what's crazy is people act like they can't see that things are getting worse. They act like they can't see that, children, have just gotten worse. Look at the stuff that's going on in the world. When we grew up, we was getting spanked. And there wasn't obviously there was filth and stuff, but there wasn't all this, just blatant garbage and indoctrination, in the movies like it is now. And I don't care what nobody says. These children are growing up soft. These children are growing up, obviously a lot of these young guys are growing up just very feminine. It's like they want the females to be more manly, and then they want the males to be more feminine. And what is that? That's the spirit of the Antichrist, because God made a man and a woman. And remember, the devil comes as an angel of light. So they come to you and say, oh, it's all about representation and love and equal rights and all that kind of stuff. No, it's not. That's not what it's about. It's about you pushing your agenda. I always told people from the very beginning under Obama, I said, it's not about gay marriage, because they had the, I forgot what you call it, domestic partnership or something, where it's like they can still live together. They can do everything a married couple could do. It's about coming against the definition of what marriage is. And then from there, oh, you've given us this. Now let's just take everything. We want representation in the movies. We want, these people to be hired even at churches, everywhere. It's like a takeover. So we can lay down, we can be quiet, we can not say anything, or we can stand up, we can speak up, and we can stand together and say, no, like what DeSantis is doing, we need more people like that. Because now people are so scared. You have this politically correct, society where people are, I don't want to lose my job. And so people are just going with the motion. But if we had more people to stand up like DeSantis and stand behind them, you know what I'm saying? We could do something. But it's hard to get people to unify about anything, because especially at least just the church. If we could get the church to get on one accord and stand and speak about this, we could make a difference. But the church got to be unified. We're all broken up into denominations and arguing about all kinds of stuff that's not a heaven or hell issue. Meanwhile, the enemy is united doing this stuff. Wake up, pray up, and be aware of what your children